Alon, thanks for joining us again on the SEABL Preview Show. Well, today we're down at Sandringham and I've been joined by one of the Sabres, Bo Muehlbach. Bo, how you going?
I'm going well.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Your season, the team's in fourth position, but they're not really short of a playoff spot just yet.
Yeah, we've kind of had some rough rides. Number one, with Josh being out here recently. Just went through a couple of dry spots. We were hot, we're not, we're hot, we're not, just kind of up and down. And just trying to look for some consistency here as we close out the season.
Now you might wonder why we're both wearing yellow. It's because this week is the SEABL Call to Arms round. It's an initiative put forward by the Cancer Council that's aimed at raising awareness of cancers found in men. The men will be wearing yellow armbands. I think, mate, you did it last year as well. Yep. It's a good initiative, I think. Yep,
we played against Frankston last year, and it's good to see everybody join in like that and come together for one good cause.
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing, I think. Anyway, mate, plenty to talk about. You touched on a few of them there. We'll get stuck into it. First of all, we'll look at some results. What happened up in Brisbane last week, mate?
Brisbane, we got off to a slow start. They came out just hitting all their shots. They really moved the ball around real well, made us hard to guard. Really got to have defensive help when you play those guys. And they had a great team effort. They shared the ball really well. We just couldn't ever catch up to them after that first half.
Yeah, I think they're a tougher team to play up there, obviously, mate. Player of the week this week was Mohamed Tumba from Albury-Wodonga. Now, you played the Bandits just here a couple of weeks ago, beat them in double overtime, I think. How do you remember Momo as playing?
Mohamed is a aggressor, very competitive guy, very strong guy. I just remember him rebounding and two guys going up with him to try to block his shot. We both got the ball, and that ball still went in the goal. He's just magnificent, just so strong, and that always helps, especially when you rebound. I know he's in top 5 rebounding, and that obviously helps. He's just strong player.
Well,
hard to move.
We'll talk about a good rebounder in your own team shortly, Corey Cooperwood. But before we get to that, we'll touch on some injury news. And Brisbane have withdrawn Dean Brebner for the rest of the season with suspected ACL damage. And Ballarat have had a host of injuries this week as well. But mate, while we're talking about injuries, the big one from a Sandringham point of view has been Josh Wiltsh's Achilles in the last couple of weeks. It's not easy to replace a person like that at this point in the season.
No, it's really not. Josh has had a fantastic year, and it's heartbreaking to see him go down like that. And he's really worked hard with the Melbourne Tigers, and he's coming along here. Man, it sure is hard to replace Josh and what he's done for us so far. He's carried us all this way, and yeah, it really is just a heartbreaker to see Josh go down like that. But just gives an opportunity for somebody else to step up and for us to come together as a group and just find a way that we can just dig harder and get some more W's.
Mate, it's a good segue into our statistical leaders. We'll start off by looking at the assists leaders this week, and Josh is there in the top 5. What's been the biggest difference between him last year and him this year? I mean, is it just a confidence thing, or is it one area of his skills that he's improved on, or something else? Bo, what's the difference?
I think last year he was looking at Croswell. Nathan Croswell mentored him a little bit.
Yep.
He's obviously getting more time. He has more confidence. He's much better on the on-ball screen. He's able to split screens, come off screens, draw 2 defenders to him, which allows for him to drive and kick and get those assists that he's getting. I think he just putting in the work has gotten him much better and giving him that confidence that he needs just to make plays.
And he's certainly looking a lot more confident. That's one thing for sure, mate. If we look at the rebounders there, just in 5th place, Corey Cooperwood. He brings such a strong work ethic and inside presence to your team that probably you lacked a little bit last year.
Yep, you're exactly right. Last year we struggled on the boards. This year we have Corey, and Corey is just an absolute monster on the boards. Yeah. He's a bit undersized to play down low, I feel like. Probably standing about 6'6", but man, he gets after those boards, and he's a full-time box out. He really goes after those things hard, and man, you probably need to put 2 bodies on him. He's really aggressive. He's really good at that, and averaging 10 boards a game is quite an accomplishment. He deserves all that hard work he's put into it.
Well, mate, he's going to be an important player for you this week as we preview your game now against Dandenong. I think you played these guys last time in round 6. You lost to them by about 8 or 9, 10 points over there at Dandenong. They're conference leaders. How are you preparing for this game this week?
Well, I think first and foremost, our defense has to be just magnificent. They do a real good job of moving the ball, getting everybody involved. They're very athletic, they're very fast. So I think number one, defense has to be the key. Number two is you just got to execute your plays offensively. They do a good job of playing defense. They're long, they're athletic, so they have every right to be up top of the ladder. They're a good ball club. They're a very good ball club.
Bo, when you're looking at a team, do you do video sessions in the week leading up to a team?
Yeah, we watch film. We watch film.
And do you look at one aspect in particular, their offense, their defense, an individual player? How does that break down your video analysis?
Pretty much our video analysis is we just get all subjects of the game. We get transition, we get half-court offense, we get defense, their defensive schemes, where they trap on the post, trap on the wing, zone, full court press, stuff like that. We just try to get everything, stuff that we see that we can attack maybe from a different way, or look at what teams attack them, how they did
Sure.
it. If it works for one team, maybe it works for another. So just try to get it all game plan together before the game by watching film and executing it during practice during the week.
Well, mate, we'll have a look at the conferences as they stand. While we do that, Bo, this is your second year in the league. What have you enjoyed the most about your second time or your time in Australia?
I feel like as far as basketball goes, I'm much more acquainted with my teammates.
Yep.
I feel like I'm closer to them. Basketball, from start of the games, I'm more relaxed.
Yeah.
I know what to expect now. Last year I was a little bit anxious and nervous before games, but this year I feel more relaxed, and just because I've had 1 year under my belt, I know what to expect.
What about the Australian culture and,
Australian culture, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. People out here are so friendly, so nice, always willing to help you, and just very good people, very good people.
You ever get homesick or anything like that, mate?
A little bit, get a little homesick, but just calling my parents, calling my wife, and everything like that would just calms me down and puts me back into place, and I'm over here for a reason.
Yeah, sure.
And blessed for the opportunity.
Yeah. Mate, I understand that you've got quite a famous sporting brother. Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yes, my brother is Don Muehlbach. He's number 48 for the Detroit Lions. He's a deep snapper. For those of you that don't know, he snaps to the punter. And quite an interesting story. The punter for the Lions is Ben Graham, former Geelong player.
That's right.
And so I got to meet Ben when he came back in the off season here. Sat down, had a coffee with him. It was pretty cool meeting him and hearing some of his stories, and how he's adjusted to football in America.
Sure.
Or gridiron.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. Yeah.
Training stories with him would be quite interesting. But mate, just one or two more things to get through. We'll have a look at this week's fixtures. Bo, looking ahead after the end of this SEABL season, have you got any plans? Will you hang around in Australia or head back to the States? What's up for you for the next 6 months?
I'd like to hang around a little bit. I'm involved with Sabres coaching, some domestic teams, so I'd like to stay around and finish the job with those kids. And also, I'd like to do a little bit of sightseeing as well.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to, hopefully it's warm enough to go up to the Great Barrier Reef.
Oh, yeah.
Go up that way. We just came back from Brisbane. I stayed a day later and got to see some sights, went down the Gold Coast. But man, I would love to go see that Great Barrier Reef.
Now, mate, I know you won't be doing all that by yourself because you had a couple of weeks off in the middle of the season to go back home to the States for a special occasion. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yep. I went home, married the woman of my dreams, got married to Mallory, and just a blessing for Vince to let me go ahead and do that during the middle of the season.
Sure.
Wasn't easy, getting off a plane, getting adjusted to the time back there, coming back right after I got married. It was hard on my body, but well worth it.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to meet her, mate. She's a lovely person. You've done very well for yourself, mate.
Thank you.
Anyway, that does it for this week, mate. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure coming down here and being with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ed.
And if you're going to a SEABL game this week, remember to wear yellow to show your support for the Call to Arms initiative. Until next week, though, it's bye for now.